What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Luis Cuba Arias. Man, been at this all day. Been fighting all day. I've been wearing this damn shirt all day. It's been nothing but boxing and fights all day, and I've been watching them all. But right now, it's just the UFC just finished. And we got a new UFC middleweight champion. Khamzat Chimaev is the new UFC middleweight champion, and he just absolutely dominated. Duplessis couldn't do nothing. I'm pretty sure it was pure domination. It was he controlled the fight from the very start. He had him on the ground from the jump. I think he had control time pretty much most of it, the whole fight. 3 rounds had to be over 4 minutes. He just completely dominated him. Duplessis had no takedown defense. It was nothing. It was just pure. It was one sided the entire fight. Duplessis ain't do much. It was a couple times he almost could have choked him out, but pretty much it was pure domination from the new champion. And I actually hit up Pettis and what he thought. I was like, man, is this just takedown week, or is just Chimaev just that dominant? And he said Chimaev is just really that dominant. So it's safe to say he looking like a middleweight Khabib. The only person that's gave him, a decent fight, other than Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns gave him a pretty good fight. The only other person that gave him a decent fight was Kamaru, and he's not even in that weight class. So, I mean, he dominated every contender on the way up. He just dominated the champion. I don't know. I think you got a new dominant middleweight champion who's gonna, dominate for a while, because I don't see who, you know. But the good thing, was the undercard. The good thing with the UFC fights that because that main event was just too one sided, but the undercard was rocking. It was 2 highlight reel knockouts back to back. What's his name? Lerone Murphy. My bad, Lerone. I didn't really know your game like that. Even though you're on a nice solid win streak, it says right here, I wasn't too familiar with your game. You were fighting a guy that was coming over from like PFL Bellator, so my bad. But he just put the world on notice for sure. I mean, he's on a good win streak, it says right here. I just didn't know the name, my bad. But he on a good win streak right now. Oh, he's undefeated. Duh. 17-0. 17-0. And what I'm talking about on the win streak in the UFC, he's 1, 2. Well, he got to draw his first fight. Wow. That's crazy. He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-0 in the UFC. And that spinning elbow was great. First round, a minute 30 into the first round. And it takes a lot of like precision, and timing to land that spinning elbow. And he did it right on the money on a very big card, a UFC pay-per-view main event. So, shout out to him. He definitely gonna get a big fight next. And the other highlight reel knockout was Carlos Prates, the Brazilian. He was coming off a lost to Ian Gary, which I thought he did good. He just waited too long. He waited till the 5th round to really get off, and that bit him in the butt. But this guy's gonna be a very fan favorite fighter. I mean, not just the way he fight, but his antics outside the ring. I mean, like I said before, he liked to party. He liked to drink. He smokes. After the fight, after he won, watch what he did and the stuff that he said in his post-fight interview.
Please let us fight in Rio, and 50K bonus. Have party tomorrow. Let's go. Let's party.
Like I said, man, that guy's just a superstar, man. He's gonna be fan friendly. The fans are gonna love him. He's a little nerdy guy that loves to party, and he got thunder, man. He liked to fight, man. He hits very, very hard. I've always said it. I always felt like, because any MMA fight, you start standing up. So if you got these, man, you in the game, and he does. So, like I said, fan-friendly guy. He's going to be in a lot of exciting fights. So looking forward to see what his next thing is. And also on the another card fighter that was on there was Michael Venom Page. Michael Venom Page came back with another W. He pretty much was winning the whole fight against Jared. First two fights he kept his distance. He fights real weird, and real awkward. But if you can't really get to him, and he can fight you from the outside, he can pretty much beat anybody, a lot of people at least. And that's pretty much what he did. He was just, keeping the fight on the outside. He was smoking them. Then in like the later round, in the third round, he got a little too close. Jared got close, rocked him, but he ended up winning the fight. So looking forward to seeing what MVP does next. I don't think he's top 10 yet, but he can get a fight with number 10 and number 8 to see what's up. Because the UFC, there's a lot of guys in that in that organization, and they all can fight. So good fights. Like, comment, subscribe. Looks like Chimaev gonna be a dominant middleweight world champion. So who y'all think he should fight next? Tell me how we did on our first UFC fight card. Luis Cuba Arias. Like, comment, subscribe.